Hi Janet, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and your Singer 128 is also done and ready for you to come pick her up. Um, so this is the final test for, well, uh, we always do a final test, and we video it for you so you can see that she's working good. And also, it's a little bit of a tutorial in case you're not familiar with the operation of this machine. And also, we'll post it online for the benefit of other Singer 128 owners that may not know how to use a machine that they've inherited from grandma, or however they happen to come across it. Anyway, enough babble. So for starters, we'll just sew a seam here. So straight. We're going to go over the big seam in a pair of Levi's pant legs. I always slow down a little bit for those. Don't want to bend or break a needle. Anyway, she's running and sewing great. Nice stitch, well balanced on both sides. And in this video, we're going to show you how to wind the bobbin and thread the machine. And how to work the various controls. So we're going to start by winding a bobbin. And you'll find your bobbin down here under the slide plate. Turn your hand wheel towards you until the shuttle carrier brings your shuttle and bobbin all the way over in front of you. And just reach in, get your fingernail under that little handle on the side, and lift the shuttle out. And inside the shuttle, of course, is your bobbin. This shuttle's got a bit of thread on it, but I'm going to take that off and put some new thread on. All right. Okay, this is your bobbin winder, of course, and to wind the bobbin, put your spool on the spool pin, go into the thread guide up here on the top of the faceplate, and you'll see on the side of the bobbin winder there's a little notch, and then there's another notch at the top that those thread into. But first, I'm going to put a few wraps on the bobbin just to hold the thread in place while it winds. So generally, I just lay the thread along the shaft of the long bobbin, hold it in place, and put several wraps on. Make sure that they overlap a little bit. And your bobbin's going to wind this way. So you want your thread to go on over the top. This side of the bobbin winder is spring loaded, so pull that back, set one side of the bobbin in the tire side and the other one in the spring loaded side. Then guide your thread into the thread guide at the top of the bobbin winder, and as your bobbin winds, that's going to move back and forth to give you a nice even wind on your bobbin. Then into this notch that we went into last time there. And I'm going to take up the slack a little bit here. So your thread goes from the spool into the thread guide, down to this notch, up to this notch, and then onto the bobbin going over the top that way. Declutch your machine by turning the knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you quarter of a turn or so till you feel it hit its stop. And that disengages the wheel so that the wheel can spin the bobbin winder without making the rest of the machine cycle. Push your bobbin winder up against the hand wheel so that the rubber's in contact with the hand wheel, and we're ready to sew. No reason to go fast. There's more of a chance of getting a snarl. Okay, and that should be plenty of thread for our test purposes. Move the bobbin. Reflex your machine by tightening the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel. And your shuttle that the bobbin's going to go into, you'll notice has a slot that goes down from this notch at the end here. And you want your thread to be coming off in the opposite direction that the slot slants. So it's going to go in this way, and your thread's going to go back against itself and into that slot. Your slot slants that way, your thread's going to come off the bobbin that way. So guide the thread into the slot all the way down to the bottom, and you should kind of feel it click into place. And then when you pull it back up, it goes under the leaf spring there, and that's what puts your tension on the lower thread. But yeah, so you can see it's pretty clear that the bobbin has to go in with the thread coming off in the correct direction. Now, holding by the little handle, we're going to put the bobbin back in the shuttle carrier, and you'll notice that one side of the shuttle is flat. That flat side goes up against the housing of the machine here. Drop it all the way in. And then we're going to thread the machine. So, go from your spool of thread into the thread guide at the top, down between the discs of the tension assembly, and you want to make sure that you pick up the check spring here, which is this little thin spring. And when you have it right, you'll see that it pulls the spring up when you pull on it. From there, we're going to go through the take-up lever, which is the thing that goes up and down, from the front of the machine towards the back, down to the thread guide on the faceplate here, down to the thread guide above the needle clamp. This way. Then we're going to go through the needle from the left to the right. Now, holding your thread, your needle thread, loosely, we're going to turn the hand wheel one full revolution towards us. The needle is going to take the thread down and make a loop for the shuttle to go through, and then we'll be able to pull up the lower thread that way. So here we go, needle goes down, shuttle goes into the loop, loop goes over the shuttle, picks up the lower thread, and voila. there it is. This is your stitch length here. When you screw this big thumb screw in, the further in you screw it, the longer your stitches get. When you screw it out, the shorter and shorter your stitches get. So now our stitches are longer. This is the pressure on your sewing foot. So if you're sewing something extra heavy duty or something delicate, you can change how much pressure is on your sewing foot as required. You want just enough pressure to move the fabric along with authority without putting undue pressure on the fabric, because it can mark some delicate fabrics. Let's see. This is your tension assembly, and when I send it, the tension will be set right. And if you need to change the tension, just turn it up or down a little bit at a time, just a smidge. And check your fabric. You want the upper and lower stitches to be about the same on both sides. If the stitches are loose and loopy on the bottom, you want to add a little more tension. Turn it clockwise. And if it's puckering the fabric and pulling it too tight or breaking your thread, then you want to let it off a little bit by turning counterclockwise. Every 10 or so hours of sewing, you want to put 1 drop of oil in each of the oil holes. Check your user manual or look online for an oiling diagram. It'll show you where to oil the parts behind the faceplate and underneath the machine. But every 10 hours or so of sewing, and when you do that, you want to take off the needle plate, which is just this one screw in this little round plate, and brush it out and vacuum the dust and lint out of from around the feed dogs, because that thread, especially polyester thread, the fibers are abrasive. That's about it. Your wiring is great. Your motor's working good. Light's working. Yep. Now, if you've come here from somewhere else on the internet and found this video, we are Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and we restore vintage sewing machines. We are on Stagecoach Road out here in the Coast Range of Oregon, so we are stagecoachroadsewing.com. All one word, stagecoachroadsewing.com. And if you come out to the site, you'll see some beautiful machines there, and you can pick one out to take home to your own sewing room. Or, yeah, if you have a beautiful machine that needs some attention, you can contact us and find out how you can get your machine to us to be restored. So again, Janet, thank you so much. This was a pleasure working on your 2 machines. They're both working great, and look forward to seeing you back here to pick them up soon. All right, good day.